what it means for those, I guess, those two blokes.
3 changes for this game. Obviously, Dan Worrell also with a hamstring, which is disappointing for Daniel especially, and for us. The 2 significant changes, we've left out Callum Ferguson and Tom Cooper, and really on the back of our team performance over the last period, it's been a fair while now since we've had wins. We haven't had wins for 13 games and only 2 in the last 18. And as senior players, we just felt that the inconsistency in their performance was one of the major reasons. It's a hard call, there's no doubt about that, and it's difficult for those blokes as senior players, but there is responsibility, we believe, on our more experienced and better quality players to perform in a more consistent manner. And ultimately, this was a chance for us to show that we can't just roll along and continue to do the same things the whole time and expect things to get better. We needed to make some change, we felt, to try and spark some team performance, and it's turned out that Callum and Tom are the 2 that miss.
Is there a way back for those 2?
Oh yeah, very much so. It's certainly not fatal. As I say, it's a reaction to the fact that we haven't won and haven't been playing our best cricket. We lost a game in Perth, for example, just this week, where we lost by 6 wickets and it was over on the 3rd day. We want and we pride ourselves in the last couple of years of being really competitive, and that was probably the last straw, is in the fact that we hadn't batted well enough and hadn't bowled well enough especially as well, but we just hadn't performed well enough as a team, and to roll out the same group we thought would be, well, it just wouldn't be doing the right things for us as an organisation and also for the cricketing supporters and fans in South Australia.
So this isn't over for them?
Sorry?
So this isn't over for
No, definitely not. As we've discussed with them, it's a reaction to their form in the last 10 or 12 hits, and the responsibility that we place on our senior players to have a greater impact, to allow us, whilst we have players away playing for Australia as well at different times, for the younger players coming into our group to find their feet and find some consistency. So yes, there is added responsibility and expectation on those senior blokes.
What was their response, Tim, when the news was passed on?
Disappointed, obviously, and as in always in selection, if you're telling someone bad news, we don't expect them to agree, and they would have liked an extra opportunity or extra chances. We only have 2 games left in the season now, so if we didn't move now, we felt as a management group that we wouldn't have a chance to see a couple of other players and see how they coped and how they went. But more importantly, as mentioned, we can't just keep rolling along, we feel, and keep doing the same things and expect different results. And we need to spark some performance. So yes, they were disappointed, but to their credit, they were respectful, and whether they agree or disagree, that's the decision that's been made.
Will Lehman continue to get the chance at 3?
We're working through that process now, yeah. So more often than not, the process of the batting order is given to the captain and the coach, so we'll sit with them and pick the squad, and then they'll decide where it's at. A couple of new players in the team gives us a couple of different options. Both Davis and Smith have both bat high at club level and also in the second 11 team, so there are a few more options there. Jake's had a lot of success for us batting at 5, that's true, and he's been captain of our team earlier in the season when Travis is away batting at 5, so that's certainly an option for us.
Tim, tell us how important Greg Peat is in terms of form. Obviously you've got him, and you go in particular, in the Sturt Skippers who you are watching.
Very much so, yeah. You know, Premier Cricket's critical for us. It's the first step where they can put their hand up and perform to a level that says, look at me, and then we also have our second 11 competition where, and Brad's probably smashed the door down. He made 200s in one game, and over the last couple of years he's had some pretty good standout performances there. So he's had some standout performances there. So Kelvin's made 5 grade hundreds, I think it is off the top of my head, this season. He's made nearly 1,000 runs. I think he's made 13 grade Premier hundreds over his career. So again, it was a time that we just couldn't ignore good performance at the levels below when we weren't getting the results or the performances we require at the first class level.
Winter was here.
Jake's going really well. He's got 1,000 runs this year in Premier Cricket. He's still finding his way in the second 11 at the second 11 level. He played in Queensland last week, and it was an excellent attack, almost their first class attack, and he found it probably a great jump from Premier Cricket. So rather than throwing people to the wolves and almost picking them when we don't feel as though they're in a place that will give them the best chance of success, we felt it was another opportunity for Jake to play in Perth this week with our second 11 team and continue his development that way.
With a few unfortunate soft tissue injuries to the bowlers, will the program have to be reviewed and looked at how the loads have been managed this season?
Yeah, very much so. And we're probably learning every year. I mean, even with the Big Bash period being longer this year, the guys are in a 2020 mode. they're continually trying to build their and keep their bowling works up, so they're not just bowling in 4-over blocks, if that makes sense. Dan, for example, had a tough period because I think the Stars playing in the finals, they had a couple of lead-up games, then the finals in quick succession, so the chances with travel and preparation around finals made it very difficult to bowl more and more overs. Chad's come back from his knee clean-up before Christmas, and that one was really just probably his body not reacting to having a bit of a spell and coming back from injury. And unfortunately, I mean, he was really close this week. We probably could have pulled the trigger there, but we were being a little bit conservative with him to ensure that it's not a long-term smash up and have to fix totally again. It's rather, okay, we'll give him an extra week and hopefully he'll be right and up for selection for the last Shield game of the year.
Okay, we just had a chance to play the Victoria game. What's the word on his?
If he's around, we're hopeful that he's developing, he's recovering quickly from his side, and we're hopeful that if he can be right and bowling flat out, that he might be back in the thought processes for the Dubai leg of the Australian one-day summer. So we'd hope that he gets a bit of a chance there, but yeah, he's got to first show that his side's right to go and he can bowl flat out and he's fair income ready.
Is this an indication that you might make significant list changes in the off-season?
I'm not sure if it will be significant. Callum is contracted next year. Tom's been on one-year contracts for the last couple of years and been performing well, especially in the white ball formats. He started the season really well. So I don't think, as I say, this is not fatal. It's just really us trying to find a way to spark some team performance and probably send a message both to our team and our squad and our supporters that we don't like not performing and not winning or not even being competitive at times. So I keep coming back to the result was we just couldn't keep doing the same things with the same group and expect it to change overnight. So we made some change and we're hoping that'll have an impact.
Where's Popey at, Tim? Because obviously he's having trouble with the Duke's ball and the grip, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, another young bloke who's developing, we hope, on the right path. He'll play in the second 11 game this week in Perth. The Duke ball makes it a bit more difficult for him. He changed a couple of the things he was doing in his action and the way he went about it for the 2020 for the Big Bash program, which worked well, but probably hasn't found it as simple to come back and readjust into the 4-day style of bowling. So we thought, again, rather than throwing to the wolves, we'll give him the opportunity in the second 11 game. And even after his great performance against Queensland, where he got 7 wickets, he had a patch where he didn't take a wicket for a while and he found first-class cricket tough. So, we'd like to think with our young blokes we have the opportunity to put them in at the right times, and maybe if it gets a bit hard, pull them back out of the team, give them some development time or some second 11 cricket to keep working on their game and improve, and then when the time's right and the opportunity's there, stick them back in it and when they've got the best chance of being successful.